Hi everyone and welcome to video 4 in the series brought to you by PPS and Morgan Solus. My name is Tracy Linnell from Morgan Solus. And in today's video, we're going to be having a look at some of the cybersecurity issues that have cropped up during COVID-19. So I think the first thing we can all acknowledge is that our world has been turned upside down. We've gone from working in large corporate office spaces to now either telecommuting, teleworking, or working remotely from home. Now, working remotely is not necessarily a new concept. A lot of tech startups, large corporates, have been empowering their knowledge workers to work remotely for a number of years, either from their client's premises, from home, or from their favorite coffee shop. But our smaller businesses have not always had that luxury, either due to management concern, IT capability, technology constraints, or even financial constraints. So why now are we sitting in a situation where cybersecurity is quite a high concern? In essence, we've gone from a controlled environment where security was in place and could be controlled to a space where we've had to open up security controls to just enable staff to be able to connect to the systems that are required to do their work. So let's have a look at a couple of areas of emerging cyber spotlights. The first one is your computer. And this could be your desktop, your laptop, or even your servers. The most important thing that needs to happen in a good cybersecurity program is that the patches, hotfix, and software updates need to occur. In this situation where we're now working remotely, it is quite difficult to get those patches across to the end users because of bandwidth constraints. And this has proven to be quite an issue for IT teams, and they've had to change some of the security controls. The second one is the network. So when we were working in our corporate office, the LAN, the local area network, is actually controlled by the IT team with all the security protocols in place. When we're operating from home, it's a whole different story. We're connecting through 3G, Wi-Fi, fiber, and the network is not as secure as it should be. It's up to us in terms of our Bluetooth connections or our fiber connections to actually have a look at the routers and ensure that the security on those routers is sufficient. The third one is email. Now, we all know how important email is. When it goes down, it's an absolute train smash for most organizations. But why is this a cybersecurity concern? Hackers and any potential cyber guys out there are looking for the cheapest and the easiest way to actually gain access to corporate environments or to your computer. They've realized that with a lot of cybersecurity programs in place, that those protections are actually preventing them from accessing the network directly. So the easiest way for them to gain access is to target us as end users. And they do this through email, through phishing, or through false links that we click on. The next one is teleconferencing, and I'm sure most of you have seen some of the articles around Zoom and some of the challenges that they've had. So teleconferencing has become an absolutely critical component of working remotely, enabling staff members to connect with each other as well as clients. So picking a teleconferencing solution that will enable your clients and your customers to interact has been quite critical. Importantly, inside that is obviously setting up the security controls and protocols that are required to make sure that when we're interacting, there's less chance of Zoom bombing or any sort of hackers gaining access to those teleconferencing sessions. And then the last one really has to look at monitoring. So the IT teams, when they're busy looking at the monitoring of the network, particularly in the corporate environment, they're having a look at all the different logs that are available that show how the systems are interacting. Now, in a remote working situation, that becomes even more crucial because what the IT team are looking for is when users are logging in, why are they logging in, what are they accessing, timelines. Basically, they're looking for trends. So those logs give them a deep insight into what's actually happening from the end user perspective. Okay, so then if we have a look at what can we do around these things, the first thing in terms of our computer, obviously we need to ensure that what we can do is make sure that we have our operating system and software updates, our patches, our fixes. We want to restrict the local admin access for end users to their computers. This prevents them from being able to install non-standard corporate software. And again, as we mentioned, we want to be able to set it up so that we can do a staggered patch release, taking into account the download speeds of the average staff member working remotely. Yeah, then the next one is the network. Obviously, as we mentioned, we want to make sure that our Wi-Fi security is priority. This means logging onto your routers, making sure that you've got 12-character password in place, and really stressing the importance of the VPN connection to your end users, because that is the connection back into the remote environment, back in the corporate office. And this will allow a hacker, if they access the person's local computer, to get access straight back into the corporate environment. On the email side, we want to make use of our email service providers. A lot of companies host their email internally themselves. It may be a time to consider hosting your email in a cloud provider who are then responsible for the security itself. And again, as we stressed before, phishing attacks, all of these type of attacks that come through email, really important that we educate our staff members and our end users as to what to look out for and not to click on those links. Teleconferencing, again, pick a solution that works for your corporate environment. Must ensure that it has authentication and encryption in place. And please make sure that you go into the detail of the settings and that they are actually configured correctly. And then the last one is our monitoring. Again, very important for our IT teams to be perusing and having a look at our useful logs, particularly around Active Directory logs, the firewall, the VPN, and the antivirus logs. Looking for repeated login failures, looking for those trends that we spoke about, and even the number of logins over a period of time, and whether the logins are coming from a different country than what they should be. So that's just a summary of some of the things that we've seen in the cybersecurity space. There are our contact details as well as our cyber expert, Everett. If there are any questions or anything that you'd like to ask us, please pop us through an email and we're happy to give some guidance. That brings us to the end of our video. Thank you very much for your time. Be safe, take care, and chat soon.